Here's what few people know. With just $50, you can begin a journey that could change your financial life forever. You might think $50 is too little, that it's insignificant. But let me show you why that is the exact trap most beginners fall into. By the end of this video, you'll see a method so powerful, so underutilized, that even a single $50 investment can set you on a path most people only dream about. Listen closely because every detail matters. You might be wondering, why start with $50? Because the rules of the game aren't what they tell you. Most people waste hundreds, thousands, without understanding compounding, leverage, or even the psychology of small wins. Here's the truth. $50 is enough to plant the seed. The key is knowing where, when, and how to plant it. And that's exactly what I'm going to reveal. Let's talk psychology. Investing isn't about big numbers. It's about control, patience, and understanding human behavior. $50 is tiny, but if you master the small, you can handle the massive. And here's the kicker. Most people ignore this fundamental truth. You're about to see why thinking small is actually the most powerful move in investing. History has its secrets most textbooks ignore. Even a simple investment in the right stock at the right time could have turned a few dollars into a fortune. Here's a story from the 1920 stock market that proves timing, strategy, and patience with even the smallest amount can yield insane results. And yes, $50 could have been your ticket. Now, let's dive into the first method. Many people think they need hundreds, thousands to start investing. That's a myth. Here's what almost no one tells you. Micro-investing platforms exist that can turn your $50 into a strategic foothold. And it's not about luck. It's about understanding the flow of money, the psychology of markets, and making the first step before fear paralyzes you. Listen carefully because most people never get this far. Here's the shocking part. Compounding works even with tiny amounts. $50 isn't meaningless. It's the seed that can grow into hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands if handled correctly. And it starts by understanding one fundamental rule. Never underestimate small beginnings. The market is like a forest. A single seed can sprout a tree taller than any skyscraper. And this is where patience becomes your deadliest weapon. Risk is the name of the game. But here's the part most ignore. Calculated risk is terrifying yet liberating. You have to embrace the fear of losing that $50 and convert it into a disciplined strategy. The markets are ruthless, but understanding them turns fear into power. This is the moment where most beginners fail. But not you. You're about to see how $50 can be a controlled experiment with massive lessons. Now, let's uncover a hidden truth. Investing isn't just about numbers. It's about trends, psychology, and human behavior. Your $50 is your probe into the patterns of the world. And here's the twist few ever grasp. By observing carefully, you can predict movements before they happen. That is the edge that turns small investments into empire-building power. Timing is everything. The difference between a failed attempt and a successful micro-investment often comes down to moments, seconds decisions. And here's what few understand. A single well-placed $50 move can teach you lessons that thousands of failed trades cannot. You're about to see the anatomy of these moments and why mastery of them separates winners from the rest. Finally, here's the secret no one teaches. Follow through. $50 alone won't make you rich. It's your discipline, your observation, and your courage to act that multiplies it. And this is the moment where all the previous lessons converge. By the end of this, you'll understand how to leverage small amounts into powerful, life-changing results. Stay with me, because this is where it gets truly fascinating. Listen carefully, because this is where the real game begins. When you invest $50, you're not trying to become rich overnight. That is the illusion that destroys beginners. What you're doing is building a machine of habits, knowledge, and controlled risk. And here is what most people never realize. The first $50 is not an investment in the market. It is an investment in your own decision-making. Every click, every hesitation, every moment of doubt reveals how you think about money. And once you understand that, everything changes. Here's something fascinating that history quietly reveals. In the early days of modern stock markets, small investors were often mocked. $50 was considered insignificant. Yet those who studied patterns, who observed trends carefully, sometimes turned tiny sums into life-changing fortunes. The lesson is not about luck, it is about awareness. When you begin to see the hidden currents of money, even a small investment becomes a powerful signal, a way to test the market without risking everything. Now, imagine this. Your $50 becomes a laboratory. Not a gamble, a laboratory. You test ideas, observe reactions, and learn how markets breathe. Most beginners panic when prices move. But a disciplined investor studies those movements like a scientist observing a storm. The truth is, the market is not chaotic. It only appears that way to those who do not yet understand its rhythm. One of the most powerful discoveries in investing is diversification. Even with $50, you could divide your investment into multiple tiny positions. Think of it like lighting several candles in a dark room. One may burn out, but another might illuminate the entire space. This strategy protects you from catastrophic mistakes and allows the market to reveal its strongest opportunities. Now, let's address fear, the silent enemy of every investor. When you place your first $50 into the market, doubt will appear immediately. You will question your decision. Prices will move unpredictably. But here is the secret. Fear is not a warning. It is a signal that you're stepping outside your comfort zone. Every successful investor learned to stand still in moments when others ran away. This is where discipline enters the story. Investing small amounts repeatedly, week after week, builds momentum. The first $50 is only the beginning. The real power comes from consistency. Imagine placing tiny stones into a river one by one. At first, nothing changes, but eventually you build a bridge that carries you across. Let me show you something fascinating about technology. Today, investing $50 is easier than it has ever been in human history. Mobile apps, fractional shares, automated portfolios, tools that once belonged only to elite traders are now accessible to anyone with a smartphone. But tools alone are not enough. The power lies in understanding how to use them strategically. Here is where patience becomes almost supernatural. Markets move in cycles: expansion, fear, recovery, growth. If you observe long enough, patterns begin to repeat like seasons in nature. Your $50 becomes a way to witness those cycles firsthand. You're no longer just reading about investing, you are experiencing it. But remember this, knowledge compounds just like money. Every small investment teaches you something about timing, psychology, and risk. After enough experiments, your understanding grows sharper. And one day, when a truly powerful opportunity appears, you will recognize it instantly, while others remain blind to it. So here we are. You started with a simple question. Can $50 really matter? By now you see the deeper truth. $50 is not about wealth. It is about awakening. It forces you to observe the markets, confront fear, practice discipline, and build knowledge step by step. And if you stay on this path long enough, those tiny decisions begin to compound into something far more powerful than the money itself. Now imagine repeating this process again and again. Another $50 next month. Another small experiment the month after that. Slowly, quietly, your financial structure grows stronger. What once felt small begins to accumulate power. So remember the question that began this journey. Can $50 really change anything? Now you know the answer. $50 is not about the amount. It is about the beginning. It is the first step into the world of ownership, discipline, and financial awareness. The market does not reward the richest. It rewards the most consistent. And somewhere out there tonight, someone will invest their first $50 and begin a journey that quietly transforms their future. The only question left is whether that person will be you.